What's going on, everybody? Peyton Smith here and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be walking you through a recent redesign that we did for a local dental practice. And this video is going to be awesome because I'm going to be breaking down all of the critical pieces that this website was missing before that were making it really difficult to rank on Google and even more difficult to convert website visitors into new patients. And I'm going to show you exactly what we did to not only increase the way that this site looked and performed, but also the amount of new patients that were coming through the site. Now, if you stick around until the end of this video, I'm also going to be sharing with you the most important elements to any dental website. And so whether you are a dentist or a designer or a developer or a marketer, this is going to help share with you exactly what you need to do to have a website that performs and makes a lot of money for your dental practice. So let's jump into it. All right, so we've all seen websites that look like this, right? This is a very common looking website that was built, anywhere from 6 to 15 years ago. And all of the websites that were built around this time suffer from the same issues. Now, these issues not only make it look like a catastrophe, but they also make it nearly impossible to rank on search engines. There are a lot of things that these old websites are doing that are causing a lot of red flags to be thrown to Google and telling Google this site is either not trustworthy or it's telling Google this is a mess, and Google has no idea how to navigate this site and tell exactly what it's about or what it's selling. And so we're going to be walking you through the things that this website did wrong. And also the hope is that by the end of this, you're going to love the redesign that we did, but also see what you can do for your websites, in particular your dental website, to make it perform a lot better and really set you apart from your competition. So some of the big concerns that we had about this website are going to be pretty obvious to you, one of which is the logo was really outdated along with all of the other design elements of this site. One of the things that was really bugging me is this site shared no useful content, nothing that would encourage anybody to share it on social media, and yet we've got all these share links right on the top left, and I feel like this is really the only obvious call to action or button is share our website that doesn't even work, right? And so this is something that immediately concerned me and I wanted to get rid of. The next thing that we notice is all of this list of services right here weren't even clickable, and so anybody that wants to learn more about what these services entail, or also just if these are the services that they need, right? Like if we can pinpoint what sort of pain or issues they're having, and then they can look into these services and say, oh, like that's me, that's exactly what I need. But these aren't clickable and there's no more information about these services. The other thing is there's a bunch of little icons that show that there are missing images, like just broken images and links right here on the homepage, which looks really, really bad. The next thing is there's literally no social proof, right? There's no reviews, no testimonials, no certifications, literally nothing that tells our site visitors that we are a trustworthy dental practice. And so without that social proof, nothing else that you talk about on this website is really going to matter, because if people don't trust you, they don't care if you've copied and pasted this content about your services or statistics about cleaning your teeth. None of that matters if you don't establish your social proof, okay? The other things that this site was struggling with, and again, a lot of these outdated sites have these issues, is they've got really hard to navigate buttons at the top. The navigation is just like a hot mess. But not only that, but a lot of the links were broken. And so in this drop down, you would look for the individual services, and again, they weren't clickable. And so if you have anything like that that's not clickable, or it doesn't react the way that people anticipate it to, they're going to leave the site immediately, because again, it breaks trust right off the bat and people are going to be out of here. The other thing that I noticed is people want to call a dental practice, right? They're not here for fun to read about cleaning your teeth. They're here to contact you, and you can see that there's no clickable phone number anywhere. And you're going to see down here at the bottom as well as they've got it worked into an image, but it's not clickable, it's not even text. And that's going to make it really difficult for Google to go through this site, and Google can't look at the images like human beings can, especially if there's no sort of image description on the back end. Google has no idea what those are, and so they're going to benefit you absolutely nothing with search engines nor with your site visitors. So along with that, there's no call to action button anywhere you're going to see. And just the overall design, it just makes it feel really cluttered. And obviously your call to action is going to need to stand out. It should be a big, bright, colored button that stands out from everything else, because otherwise people don't know where to click, okay? Along with the design, there's a lot of like random strange floating things over images. There's random like toothbrushes sticking out from other images, and it just feels like one of those really tacky posters that we all made in elementary school, and we just like stuck a bunch of images on there with glue, right? It's just a mess. It is too text heavy as well. There is a ton of text. Nobody's going to read through this much text on any page of a website unless maybe it's a really helpful blog article. And even then, if it's not broken up with images or graphics or graphs or anything like that, chances of people spending time to read it are very, very slim. Along with that, the images are just really bland, very like stock images that people know what a stock image is. They know if you didn't put in the effort to at least come up with something a little bit unique, okay? And so you can see from this old website that it just isn't, it's not doing a whole lot for us, right? And in fact, it wasn't driving any business to the practice. And I would like to preface that this dental practice, they were so successful in the town where they're located that they felt like they didn't need a website. So this isn't a crappy operation. Like, they know their stuff, but it was at this point where they reached out to me and they said, we need to revamp because we want our website to portray the value that we are bringing as a dental practice, right? Because the last thing you want is for you to be just like delivering great services, but people land on their website and they're like, oh, these guys must suck at what they do. And so we want to make sure that the website really portrays exactly what it is that you do and at the level and quality that you do it. So here we have the redesign. Now with this redesign, the first thing you're going to notice is it is a lot more like clear and separated and simple and easy to navigate, right? And so you're going to see that we had a new logo, a new brand, and what we did here is we wanted to break content into different blocks that were separated by space. By doing this, it makes it easier for people to look from element to element, and then by using hierarchy, we are drawing people's attention to the main title and then to the call to action, which is this big orange button. And you can see, even from this far away, you can see where you're supposed to click, okay? The other thing that we did above our main title is we have kind of a sub H1 title that gives us the ability to implement keywords. And so now it says, we're a top rated dentist in Idaho Falls. And now Google's gonna look at that and they're gonna say, bingo, I see the H1, this is a dentist in Idaho Falls, and right there it's gonna be way, way easier to rank because Google actually knows what you do, who you are, where you are located. And so by doing this, it's gonna make it much easier to rank. So again, we've got our clear call to action. Right here on this orange or this purple bar, we have our office details. So we've got office hours, again, our phone number. We've got a couple quick links to like the about page and the contact page. These are really great ways to help people see the important information that they need to know in order to contact you, okay? Now the next thing that we have, and this actually takes up the biggest portion of this homepage, and that's social proof. And again, I can't stress enough the importance of social proof on your website, especially when you're a dentist or an attorney or a doctor. People, they're not going to let you drill at their teeth if they don't trust you and if they don't know that other people trust you. And so by posting these reviews and using little star icons, these like subconsciously trigger this this internal trust with the business, and people know like, oh, other people in my area recently have trusted this dentist, and so I'm going to do the same. So at the very bottom, you'll see that we have places for patients to download their forms before they come in. This is something that I highly recommend because it's going to streamline your processes, and people are going to have to fill out paperwork when they get into the office. And you'll see that besides the call to action to just call the practice, there are a lot of different places throughout the site for you to download the patient forms and prepare for your appointment. So the other thing that we did is we used clear navigation. We want to simplify, so there's only a couple buttons that are drop downs that have additional options within them. By cleaning up the navigation, it makes it less overwhelming and people know exactly where to go for whatever it is that they're finding or whatever it is that they're looking for. So we used a custom image This was a stock photo, but we actually spent money on a stock photo and we clipped it out as a PNG and plugged it in there. And doing things like this just really sets you apart. Don't go cheap on your images. I would recommend probably your best option is to actually take photos of patients and of your dentist. But if you can't do that, or you're not in a position, or you don't have the time to do that, at least pick good stock photos that look unique, that are bright, they're happy, they make people feel good. We talked a little bit about how we had these kind of clear, established like sections and blocks just to make it easy to navigate. And you're going to see that we kind of switched back and forth, and we split up these sections with this purple bar just to help people kind of navigate through this website, and it kind of guides their eye rather than on the original one where it is just like a hot mess, right? And so we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can in order to guide them through this process and through this homepage and every other page on the site. So we brought in a new color scheme again that you're going to see immediately that this is more modern. It seems new and fresh. And then the other thing that we did is we create a clear footer nav. This is something that oftentimes gets forgotten, but a footer nav makes it easier for not only your site visitors to navigate, but it makes it really easy for Google to crawl through your site and find all of the pages. And so always remember to have that footer navigation and help people find their way through your site. So the next thing that we wanted to do with this website, which is really obvious, but was something they were missing, is we wanted to build out more pages of content to talk about our services, what we do, what sets us apart, introduce our dentists a little bit better, and just do all that we could to make people feel like they knew us and understood what we were trying to accomplish as a practice. And so what we did is we started to build out service category pages that you're going to see here. And then people were able to kind of slowly navigate their way to the services that they need. And so in this instance, it was general dentistry. It had a brief overview, which allowed us to bring in more keywords and content for search rankings. But then we created these custom icons for people to navigate through these specific service types, whether that was teeth cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, whatever it was. And so with these custom icons, we were able to kind of bring an additional branding element into the site and just make it feel really custom and well made. And this is something that the client was really, really thrilled about. We incorporated their new colors, and simple icons like this can really set your website apart. And so whether you have your web designer do these or you outsource these to a graphic designer, it's always worth the energy and the effort to do custom design elements like this, because it's going to keep people more engaged and it's going to subconsciously make them like you more and like your site more. So once you click on those custom icons, it takes you to the actual service pages where, again, we're implementing those custom icons, but then we're bringing in even more content so we can rank for very service specific keywords like root canals in Idaho Falls or whatever your keyword is. And it gives us the ability to bring in more custom images, more content. You'll see down here that we've got an FAQ drop down, which answers questions that our patients are always asking. And then we've got our call to action at the bottom. So just like this, we've just built out this really great kind of experience for people. Rather than landing on a really bland, vanilla, one-page website, they have the ability to kind of come in and feel like they know us and they feel comfortable with us. They know exactly what to expect. They can download their patient forms. They can learn about our services, and then they can contact us. And so again, just with this very simple redesign, we were able to generate a ton of new patients for the practice. So with all of that said and done, kind of like I mentioned at the start of this video, I want to go through the musts of every dental website. Now, these are things that you need to make sure that your site has right now, because if you don't, you're going to be missing out on a lot of new patients, and you're going to be scaring people off when they do land on your site. So you want to make sure that you have clear and accessible contact details. Make sure your phone number, your email, make sure that they're right there front and center so people can find your site and call you immediately. It's also a really good idea to have some sort of chat feature, because people love to have kind of that instant response type messaging without the stress or anxiety of calling somebody on the phone. The next thing that we already talked about is downloadable paperwork. Get people prepped before they show up. This is going to save you time, and it's going to make their whole experience a lot smoother and more enjoyable. Social proof is so important. Reviews, video testimonials, certifications, anything that you can do to show people that you are the expert and they can trust you is going to go a long, long ways. The other thing that you're going to want is custom imagery. Whether those are custom icons, really nice stock photos that you actually spend money for and they look good, or having a photographer come in and actually take pictures of your location and your staff. These, again, are going to go a long way in helping people know what to expect when they show up and feeling comfortable with the dentist there. The next thing that you're going to want is a memorable brand, right? A strong color, site, message. You want this to be uniform not only across your website, but all of your social media platforms. You want it to be memorable, and so when somebody has a sore tooth, the first thing they're going to do is think of that really cool purple website of that dentist down the road, and you're going to be the one that they call. You want to make sure that you have content for each service and even every category, because with more content comes more abilities or opportunities to target keywords to rank on Google. You can imagine that it's going to be really hard for Google to connect your website to a search query if you only have a couple paragraphs of content. And so provide value. Make sure that you are really laying out your process and what's included in these services. And by doing that, Google is going to recognize you as an authoritative website, and they're going to start bumping you up in the rankings. And then finally, you just want to make sure that you have a warm, inviting aesthetic, but also don't go too bland. I think oftentimes, and I see this all the time with my clients that are, dentists or law firms, is they want to go really bland because that's been the style up to this point. And you can't get stuck in that. Don't be boring. Don't feel like you can't throw in some bright, fun colors, because at the end of the day, that's what a good brand has, is something that's memorable, recognizable. A lot of times having a brand that's a little bit more fun, a little bit less like uptight, especially younger generations, they resonate really well with that. And so don't be afraid to do that. So if you found any value in this video, or if you liked the new website that we built, please be sure to smash that like button. It really helps out on a YouTube algorithm, and it also helps new people find this video. So whether those are new dentists or they are web designers, I don't care. I want to make sure that this video becomes a really good resource for those people that are trying to improve the overall online presence of their practice. So be sure to smash that like button. If you're interested in more videos like this, be sure to subscribe down below. I also am going to be adding the link to this new website in the description down below. So be sure to click that, check it out, give us some love in the comments, and we will catch you guys in the next video.